welcome back to Friendsim. I already played the other little purple boy route. So now I'm gonna play Marsti and go watch the other one if you haven't already. Blah blah blah. You know the whole spiel if you're a stan. And we're gonna go play with my beautiful clean queen, Marsti Hutek. This is a dark world, both because it's night and because of the brutal survival amongst the pill. I'm a scat man. Okay, it's Marsti time. Okay, got a bop. Oh yes, absolute bop energies. This sounds familiar. I think James said something about reusing a track for this. I'll figure it out later. Okay. Despite a certain sense of pervading existential gloom that you haven't managed to shake even after communing with a possible oracle/secret agent, you are feeling pretty alright. No more brooding in your cliffside apartment. You have a fresh thirst this evening. A thirst for friendship. You're wandering around a neighborhood that you haven't seen in a while, just a few blocks down from where you crash landed. Maybe you'll go pay a visit to the crash site of your ship, even though it's long since been stripped for parts by the local population. Or maybe you'll try to find Diamond to say hi, even though you're pretty sure he's still living the nomadic shrubbery lifestyle. Or you're just here for the nostalgia. Honestly, Melis's who? You hardly know her. Don't know what that is. Just then, from across the stream, echo two voices raised in argument. Well, one is soft and murmuring, and one is loud and honking. A rust blood girl and a purple blood guy are squared off in front of a patch of graffiti that blooms over the bricks like moss. The girl appears to be in the process of scrubbing it away. There's a mop bucket and a collection of sponges next to her. Okay. And I told you, this shit is sacred motherfucking iconography, the purple blood is saying. So fuck the hell off, little red dumpling. The rust blood says something back that makes him laugh. The sacred iconography appears to be a collection of swear words and a couple of colorful renderings of certain sections of troll anatomy you have not yet had the chance to explore. Wait. Which one of these is the dick? Is that a little tentacle in the... Okay, we're not gonna go into that. The girl with the bucket wrings her sponge out and stares the clown down. Well, you assume she's staring him down. She's wearing big round goggles to match the bright rubber gloves pulled all the way up to her elbows. Despite the mop bucket, she looks more like a scientist from a B-grade horror film than a janitor. The purple blood doesn't have any visual weapons on him, but that doesn't make him look any less dangerous. And unless the girl has a blade in that mop handle, she's totally defenseless. You face this precise scenario more than once, but it doesn't get any easier. No matter how much self-confidence you earn or hardships you endure, life or death friendship decisions don't get any easier. Let us... Mind your business, David! Listen, you aren't the goddamn alien special forces. You aren't the friendship police. You can't afford to insert yourself into the middle of every single altercation in hopes that the drunken gamble of destiny will offer up a new and greater connections on your sore, tired ass. You aren't made of goodwill alone. Everyone needs breaks, man. You march casually by, hands behind your back. If you knew how to whistle, you would. Nothing to see here, folks. Fool, don't tell me whether or not I know how to whistle. Okay, that was really bad. Probably peeking my mic. Feet smack the ground behind you and the girl runs by, surprisingly spry in the rubber boots. Not spry enough, apparently, because the high blood is hot on her heels. Nope, not helping. Definitely not. Don't get involved, don't get involved. You already made your choice, you are not getting involved. At the last moment, you stick out one of your famous legs and the clown goes flying. He hits the pavement hard, nose first. Son of a bitch. There you went and got involved. The high blood might be kissing concrete, but he won't be for very long. It's tough to kill a clown. You take this opportunity to get the fuck out. Damn, you don't know anybody around here. Maybe you can run back to your stolen vehicle before... Hands grab you by the back of the hoodie, hauling you around the corner and into the shadows of an alleyway. Shit. The clown must have friends, and those friends must have circled around behind you. You open your mouth to scream. Not because you think anyone is going to help you, but just because you might as well. If you can't go out fighting, you might as well go out making as much noise and being as obnoxious as possible. A rubber-gloved hand slaps over your mouth before you get out more than a squeak. You taste soap. Chill. Stop struggling. It's the Rustblood girl. She's taken the time you'd bought her and cashed it in to take refuge in an alleyway. The two of you hold still as the purple blood storms by, stomping and cursing and bleeding from a gash across his forehead. Ha! You did that. You did that. You will never get over the rush you receive from doing something cool and competent. Marsti holds on you don't know her name yet. Marsti holds on to you until the sound of his footsteps fade. You feel her heartbeat hammering against your back. She lets you go and slides away the other hand to the other side of the alley as if an apology for being so close to you before. Her boots squeak. You take a few steps near so you don't have to shout to be heard. You thank her for helping. You're both just all about helping, apparently. You decide not to mention the part where you tried very hard not to get involved. Yeah. You didn't have to do that. Actually, you shouldn't have. I'm perfectly capable of tripping my own clowns. I think I remember one of my friends saying they wanted me to do an Irish accent for her, but I'm perfectly capable of tripping my own clowns. It's just probably gonna be really bad and like offensive to anybody that does have an Irish or Scottish accent. It's kind of tempting though. You tell her you have no doubt that's true. Even if she doesn't have a sword in her mop handle, she seems to have a good pair of legs. Mentioning her mop appears to remind her that she left all her cleaning equipment down on the street. She takes a furtive glance back down the way you guys have gone and then heads back towards the graffiti. You scamper to keep up. You shouldn't be out alone in a place like this. Not that I can really summon much gumption to care beyond this one walk down the street. But you did come here to die. Because that's what's going to happen if you keep this shit up. What's your deal? Okay, so it's gonna be a mix of kind of Scottish-ish. Probably not even, I don't know. I used to watch Doctor Who a lot and I would try to imitate Amy Pond every moment of my life. So it's gonna be a mix of that and like just my normal voice because I can't think of anything else right now. You don't know about your deal. You've worked really hard not to consider your deal at all, but because the existential radio static that prickles at the base of your neck when you think about your deal is astoundingly unpleasant. Attempting to change the subject, you ask her if maybe she shouldn't get out of here while she has the chance. Is that bucket really that important to her? Marsti looks at you with a certain eyebrow raise that you're well accustomed to by now. Oh shit, you just put your foot in it again, culture-wise. You wish you could find a book with a crash course on Alternia, or at least a decent Wikipedia article, but it's not like there's any helpful Earth Guide for Idiots. At least, you've never heard of one. Besides, things are different depending where you are on Earth geographically. You imagine it's the same for Alternia. You feel positively nauseated at the idea of having to learn a whole new set of societal norms. You just stay in this particular city. Thank you very much. Do I care about my bucket? That's kind of a weird way to phrase it. I care about it as much as the next person who doesn't want to get cold. Also, scourgeries don't grow on coniferous fauna. I don't know what this accent is. I'm just gonna make it up as I go along. She tosses you the discarded sponges back into the bucket. She tosses the discarded sponges back into the bucket. You bend down to help, but she stops you with a sardonic glance. Most of her glances are sardonic, but this one especially so. She goes back to work on the graffiti. If you're going to hang around, you could make yourself less useless. Watch and make sure that high blood doesn't come back. Oh yeah, for sure. You can totally do that. Of course, you won't be able to actually do anything if he comes back. Where's Ramel when you need her? I feel like that splash of paint on the wall is her doing. Maybe you could use your own limp corpse to slow the clown down. Not that you know Marsti well enough yet to love the idea of sacrificing yourself for her. Man, character development is great. Not immediately going to your death is great. That thought sends a creeping wash of anxiety along your spine. You don't understand it, so you try to distract yourself. You ask Marsti if she just cleans graffiti or if she has other jobs. Okay, well, maybe not jobs. You know, nobody on Eternia has an actual job. Whatever I'm feeling mostly. Today I was feeling getting rid of this incredibly ugly piece of shit drawing. Tomorrow I might be feeling dirty front door mats. Depends on my mood. Yeah, you def get that. You are also a person of mercurial moods. Do you seek out friends tonight or go to one of your standby pals? Sometimes the universe just sweeps in and decides for you. Yeah, well, you are extremely weird and focused on weird shit, but also kind of magnetic at the same time. It's freaking me out. Wow! Thank you! Marsti dunks her sponge back in her bucket, or scoured right. Buckets are dirty. The drones don't make it down here very often, so there's a lot of shit to scrub. You tell her it's cool that she likes cleaning so much. Where you're from, physical labor is considered mostly virtuous, but also kind of looked down on? Fuck, maybe you can use an Earth Cultural Handbook on your own damn self. Who said anything about liking it? Who made the rule that I can only do what I like? She slams the sponge down hard into the scour tray, getting water down the front of her apron. This is just what I do. What, do you like wandering around in someone else's hoodie? Accosting strangers? Kind of? Sometimes? You didn't choose the friend life. The friend life chose you. But Marsti isn't a stranger in a strange world like you are. She's got horns and gray skin and everything. You realize she's a rusty, but come on. Oh yeah. How many burgundies do you know exactly? Well, one. And he is interested in meat. But he's pretty enthusiastic about it. One might say over-enthusiastic. You think I'm not enthusiastic? She scrubs harder to show you just how enthusiastic she can be. A delicate calligraphy-based rendering of the word globe gobbler disappears beneath her soapy hands. Okay, maybe Diamond is not the greatest example of someone enjoying their hobbies in a healthy and natural way, but, you know, plenty of other lowbloods with cool hobbies. Skyla, Trixie, Sarava. Am I supposed to know who these idiots are? Not all lowbloods know each other. Oh man, that's not what you meant at all. I'm not going to explain my life story to some random alien. Are you going to help or not? Oh, well, you thought you were supposed to be keeping an eye out for clowns. Yeah, well, instead you were asking me invasive questions. So now help me scrub. Despite these mixed signals, you pick up a sponge and start cleaning. This is actually a lot harder work than it looks like, and your back and shoulders begin to ache immediately. If Marsti does this every day, she must be ripped under that jacket. Can I see? Please. She stops talking and you just clean alongside her, worried that you're royally screwing this up. You don't know how to fix it. The graffiti is quickly disappearing between your combined efforts, and you aren't sure how much longer she's going to put up with you after that. You've got to pull out the big friendship guns, and fast. You ask, in your characteristically smooth style, what's she doing after this? Any plans? Just hypothetically? Who knows? Probably I'll just look for more shit to clean. Well, it just so happens you know a lot of dirty places. Just exceptionally filthy. Oh yeah? Where? Let's go downtown. You suggest that this place sure looks ripe for some serious power cleaning, 'cause, wow, filthy. Yeah, I guess. I was planning on cleaning down here anyway. The drones mostly take care of the high blood neighborhoods. Interesting. Zebra had low bloods cleaning for him, but maybe he's an exception. I'm not here to explain cultural dynamics to you. At least not for free. You consider mentioning that you are the main character and thus totally deserving of cultural exposition, but you doubt she'd take that well. Also, it's kind of a weird thing to say, so never mind that. You show Marsti an alley you recognize, the one with the incinerator where Polypa had gotten rid of her assassination disguise. Here, maybe? Too easy. Okay, well, what about this stretch of road where Rommel killed a dude? There's still quite a bit of purple blood spattered around. Pretty good. But no, I don't have the right outfit for blood. Jesus, picky. Sorry. Are my personal preferences inconveniencing you? No, but you aren't used to this shit taking so long to pop off. Usually you made a friend by this point, or you've been killed. You've been killed before? What are you, a bird beast? 9 lives? In retrospect, that was also a pretty weird thing to say. You meant it as a metaphor. Sometimes your internal monologue gets out of hand and spills out in your interlocution. Whatever, dude. You're considering just bringing her back to your place to clean up the mess you've made there when you realize Marsti is no longer with you. You turn around to find her gazing down an adjacent street into an empty lot. The space gives you a brief twinge of recognition before it fizzles away to nothing. Nah, probably just deja vu. At first, you don't notice the person sitting on the tire pile because without her other half, her silhouette is underwhelming.
Ew! What are you doing here, you Grammy?
What voice did I do for her?
They goes like, oh, fantastic. Hey, Normie.
Oh, hi, Follicle. It's been a while. She might notice that you are a whole lot less normal than you used to be. They're right. They're weird as hell. Hey, you are also like 80% more confident than you used to be. You don't back down from insults. Perhaps Marsti is the one who is weird because she's the one who is so fucking into cleaning up after people. That's really strange.
Hey, that's a little judgy.
Yeah, for real. You had been expecting Follicle to join you in mocking Marsti. You didn't want to be too mean or anything. You were just really sick of having your intelligence insulted concerning stuff you absolutely could have no way of knowing about. You wanted to make her look like an asshole. But as usual, it seems to be in fact you who are the asshole. Marsti seems to agree. Hey, maybe go fuck yourself a little bit. You apologize. You didn't mean it. You just experienced pilot confusion when there's too many friends in one place. You're sorry. You didn't mean to insult her hobby, but she actually doesn't really seem too into it. You're just trying to help. You know, plenty of low blood to do all sorts of activities. Oh yeah? Who? Well, Follicle, for instance. She trolls... Wait, you need another word. She and her boyfriend, harass people, and they seem to enjoy that. Also, there's Skyla and Chixie and Sarava. They all excel in their fields to a certain extent. Right. So how's that going for them? Well, you deflate somewhat. Chixie gets skeeved on all the time, and Skyla constantly has to defend her home and loses against thieves. Sarava literally had to gouge out their own eye and downplay their psychic power. Vicari, well, near you can tell Vicari is having a great time falling off cliffs and imagining the firmament above. He might be an outlier and therefore shouldn't be counted. While you're working through your apparent classism through navel gazing monologue, Marsti is checking Follicle out. Like, really checking her out.
Who the fuck are you?
Follicle slaps Marsti's hand anyway. Follicle slaps Marsti's hand away.
Keep your fronds to yourself.
What? Ooh, okay. Why does she kind of look like a fish? Okay. Marsti raises her goggles up to her forehead. You've got void rot.
No shit, Troll Sherlock.
Marsti gives her another once-over. She looks impressed. You honestly can't blame her. If Marsti likes grimy things, well, Follicle is right up her alley. Dirt Eldorado. Selfishly, you wish you met Marsti back when you were more of a wreck at the beginning of your adventure. You're filthy.
And you have no idea what you're talking about. Also, fuck you.
Marsti touches her on the forehead, slowly this time, so as to not take her by surprise. Follicle resembles a nervous little bug trying to decide whether or not to scuttle away. Do you think the dirt helped keep you insulated? It's actually the opposite of that. If you were less grimy, the energy transfer would be easier. Oh, right. Cuprum isn't here, which means her giant battery isn't here either.
Yeah, I sent him out for takeout. I needed a break.
But won't she,
Die.
not instantly? Does your husk top die as soon as you unplug it?
What are you? A fucking void rot scholar? What do you know?
I know a lot of things. You ask Marsti if she's interested in medicine. Maybe she should go into that. Marsti rounds on you in stark irritation. This is the most emotion she's shown since you've met her. Whatever you're trying to do here, stop. I'm not stupid. Why do you think they'd say? What do you think they'd say if I applied to be a medic off planet? They laughed their asses off and had me a saturated scrub pole. And that's if they're feeling generous. This is what I do. So let me do it. Chastened and uncharacteristically speechless, you nod and let Marsti turn back to Follicle. You really don't want to leave it just like that. Or maybe the truly friendly thing here would be less trying to improve your friend's life and just letting them live it. Diamond had told you much the same thing all those months ago. That he's planning to keep his head down and try to stay alive. It's not uplifting, but maybe not everything has to be. Marsti gives Follicle some advice as to the best way to make sure her body retains as much energy as possible. Follicle groans, and you're pretty sure that if she had eyes, she'd be rolling them. You do notice, however, that she listens. Marsti starts back down the sidewalk after that, pulling her scour tray in front of her. After a moment's hesitation, you follow, half expecting for her to get mad again. Instead, she just slows down so you can catch up. She's pulled her goggles back down over her eyes. You think they're probably more there for social reasons than protective ones. Sheepishly, you apologize for being a busybody back there. You're just really used to wanting to help people out. Kind of for selfish reasons. Friendship reasons, but still. Yeah. It's fine. No hard feelings. You just like fixing things when they're busted. Or when you've busted them through your own chronic idiocy. Sometimes you've just got to do what you can. But you think Marsti might understand that a little bit. Yeah. I think I might. Sometimes it be like that. And sometimes I love a woman. I'm out of water. So I have a new ship. Marsticle for life. Ew, I don't like that name. I'll work on it. Well, it's a work in progress. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the bad ending, and we're gonna intervene. The very first bad ending, I mean. Who are you kidding? You were never going to leave her to fend for herself. It's against your religion of reflexively and ceaselessly searching for new baddies. You aren't making excuses for it anymore. You've just decided to take what Boulder said to heart and just resign yourself to your fate. Well, that isn't exactly what she said, but a lot of it was confusing and spooky. You are half convinced she was just doing it for the mysterious aesthetic. You stride confidently toward the altercation, calling out a challenge to the rogue clown. Nobody messes with those less fortunate while you are on the case. And since it's been resoundingly too long since you've had a truly ironic and hilarious twist of fate befall you, as soon as you step up onto the sidewalk, the purple blood's fist connects with your head, and your head connects with the concrete. And you just get clocked. Alright, that was simple enough. Alright, now... bad ending, I guess. Oh, Well, I accidentally clipped Uptown, so that's fine. Alright, let's Uptown funk her up. Okay. It just so happens that you have connections. Uptown girls! And boys. You ask Marsti how she'd like to clean a mansion. I guess that could be cool. What are you thinking? Well, first of all, you want to bring your new stolen friend to your swank stolen car. Marsti, you want to bring your new friend to your swank stolen car. Marsti doesn't seem that interested, although she does comment that she's never been in a scuttlebuggy. Then she begins picking up the crumbs for your backseat. You tell her she doesn't have to clean up after you. Bold of you to assume I'm doing it for you. You shrug. You've come to accept that some of your friends are just fundamentally difficult to understand. Some days you really think you're beginning to get it, and the next you remember that alien isn't just your immigration status. Marsti stares at the window as the houses get bigger and grander. The car passes beneath an archway, and a light sweeps over the two of you. Marsti stiffens. You tell her not to worry, it's just a sensor to discern your blood color. Malik gave you a plug-in to scramble it. No stress. Must be nice to have friends in high places. You ask Marsti where she lives. Wherever I feel like. Depends. Or so she's just like Diamond. Her hive was destroyed, or possibly up a tree like Boulder. Although it's possible she was just fucking with you. I wish you'd stop comparing me to people like I should know what you're talking about. And no, my hive is fine. It just gets boring cleaning the same fucking building over and over again. You get how that could be cool, going from place to place, like Diamond goes for meat. Looking for meat, and Connell and Astasia look for people to kill. Everyone here seems to be weirdly obsessive and hyperfixated. Maybe that's just what happens when you bring up a bunch of kids in a robot-regulated world where the only rule is don't get cold, and by the way, some of you are inherently inferior. Have fun! As you get closer to Zebra's hive, why are we going there? I don't want to go there. Don't make me. As you get closer to Zebra's hive, you begin to get chilly strut pods. What if he tries to make Marsti into one of his guests? He has that weird thing for low bloods. You figure she'll be safe if she's with you, but you aren't always the best at making good decisions when you have more than one friend to deal with at once. The sight of Zebra's Lucis glaring at you from an upstairs window clinches it. You can't take another condescending stare from Zebra Den. Where are we going? I hope you weren't talking about his pathetic mess on the seat. Barely worth my time. You can make a better mess, you swear. Ugh, no. I don't want a staged mess. Fuck. Okay. Who do you know who's kind of a slob, but also not a total piece of shit? Yay! We're going to see my boy! Okay. Goat Dad lets you in with a hysterically happy bleat. Aw, missed you too, Goat Dad. Marsti weathers his snuffling and nuzzles, and when he tries to eat one of her rubber gloves, she scratches him from behind the ears as a distraction. She gently removes the glove from his mouth. I need these, actually. You call to Gallic, but he doesn't respond. Maybe he's out. The coffee pot is half full, but it's cold. Goat Dad bleats and butts you gently. Aw, poor guy. Are you lonely? Has Gallic been neglecting you now that he has a hate boyfriend? Marsti has been a little more uncomfortable here than she had been in your car, but when she catches the sight of Gallic's study, all that slows off. It's even more of a mess than it had been last time you were here, when he'd been trying to impress you with his intellectual clutter. She gets down to work immediately, stacking books alphabetically and sorting papers into piles by subject. You know Gallic is an A-type personality who will probably go briefly ballistic at the knowledge someone has messed with his stuff, but Marsti is just so organized and thorough. He's probably gonna be all mad because, like, no, I had everything where I wanted it, and now get out of my house. So that's probably gonna be a bad ending, my prediction at least. You feel sort of weird just standing here and watching her clean, so you gather up all the used dishes and bring them into the kitchen. When you're done with that, you figure you'll just try to be entertaining. You ask her if she's seen any movies recently. Since you've made friends with Zebedee and started hanging out with Dagiri's anime club, you've been exposed to multiple cultural touchstones. Yeah, I don't really watch much TV. Don't worry, I don't need to be entertained. I'm so sorry, I'm doing like 100 different accents. She kneels down to start dusting beneath the couch. I know you think I'm basic, and that's fine. I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks. Let alone a condescending alien with no blood color to speak of. Yikes. So if you wouldn't mind... Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh. Oh no. Crunch, crunch, crunch! What the hell is that noise? And there you go again, getting swept up in a friendship endeavor and totally beefing it. You forgot about Goat Dad's propensity for nomming on anything within reach, and he spent the last 10 minutes happily munching on several leather-bound notebooks. Gallic's experimental word rumpuses. Fuck, he loves those. He's going to murder you. To smooth another layer into the farce, the front door creaks open and Gallic's voice rings out, calling to Goat Dad, who lets out an excited bleat and scampers off, trailing little white scraps. Marsti looks from you to the front of the house and down at the paper trail. Then she's out the window and off down the hill because, though basic she may be, she's no idiot. Am I crying? Uh-oh. Oh. Oh boy, I need to make an edit really quickly. Okay, I'll do that in a second. But, yeah, I'm gonna put it on my Tumblr and my Amino, so, like, watch out for those. Yeah. So, I mean, I love her. I like her not so much for her personality, but just for her look. It's really appealing to me somehow. Maybe that's the gay talking. But yeah, good girl. I'm starting to ship her in Follicle. Not sure which quadrant. Kind of sad that I didn't actually get to see Gallic again. But I'd rather leave it in the dark, knowing whether as to I got my ass kicked or not. But yeah, it was really fun. Little fourth wall breaking there, which isn't too surprising. But yeah, fun episode. These few weren't as time consuming, I don't think. I won't really know until I edit it all together. But yeah, they were fun. They were nice. There's my episodely annual burp. Not annual, but like, yeah, whatever. I don't know words. I'm stupid. Yeah, so tune into the next episode in 2 weeks. There's not that many left. Oh my gosh, we're running out of characters to play with. And then I'm never gonna upload on my YouTube channel ever again because I don't make content regularly other than this. Woo! Bye!